Welcome to a remarkable story. A story that began on a balmy August day in South London. Wimbledon against the Blues at Selhurst Park. Neil Shipperley scores. And in the second half, under more pressure, David Connolly doubles the lead for Wimbledon. Some 1,800 Blues fans were in at the start of the journey at 3-0. It was looking a long, long journey home. One moment to savour, albeit in defeat. A wonderful piece of skill from Brian Hughes. It was but scant consolation. Worth another look though. The close control, superb. The finish out of the very top drawer. And so to St Andrews. Birmingham against Millwall. This time it was business as usual, and Brian Hughes, having got the goal against Wimbledon, was at it again. That was just the lifting confidence the Blues needed, and the goals started to flood in. Hughes had done it twice. It was a case of following him on. The man to do first of all, Jeff Horsfield. Great skills. There was room past the keeper. And finally, Nicky Eden. A thumping 4-0 win. The first 3 points of the season were in the bank. There was a scare at the end, but goalkeeper Nico Vassen redeeming the earlier mistake, making sure the points were secure. Southend, the Worthington Cup. Former Southend player Tommy Mooney, now established as one of the Blues' favourites, opens the scoring. Not one in the Southend coaching manual. The final action, a third goal, courtesy of a penalty. A Southend red card. And a Southend old boy from the penalty spot booking the Blues' place in round 2. And so to the local derby at Walsall. These are always tense affairs. Mooney opens the scoring. Good run, right-footed effort. Goalkeeper no chance. Mooney was fast establishing himself as a favourite amongst the Blues fans. But it's never easy for visiting teams at the Bescot Stadium. Referee Jones got in on the act. Granger, the first player to go. It was all about winning the game. A second Birmingham goal from Jeff Horsfield. Great skills. Yes, it was deflected, but they all count. Then there was more. A second red card. Danny Sonner this time. It was backs to the wall. Walsall got one. But Birmingham held on for victory. 2 days later, they cemented it. The last match of August, and Martin Granger with a spectacular free kick. Goalkeeper, no chance at all. The second was also to come from a set play, in this case a penalty. Mooney the man. 2-0 Birmingham. Into the second half. And this time another spot kick. Stockport get one, but Birmingham get 3 points and end August in third place. After a break of nearly a fortnight for internationals, it was back to St Andrews and back to 3 more points. Andrew Johnson's first goal of the season. Good work down the right by Jeremy Gill, and Johnson completing the task. And into the second half. Well, maybe it wasn't quite as the script intended, but they all count. And Brian Hughes getting the final touch with Paul Furlong's assistance. It's 2. There was Furlong. Hughes got the deftest of touches to wrap up victory. Off to the Memorial Ground at Bristol. And that man Johnson again getting the first goal of the Worthington Cup second round tie, which had banana skin written all over it at third division opponents. 2 more goals would have followed in the second half. A good performance, a professional performance. Brian Hughes wraps it up. Blues into round 3. And in some style. Another away day. Were Birmingham good enough to be serious promotion contenders? Kevin Keegan's all-star Manchester City would test them. And Sean Gota gave City the lead. It wasn't to be Birmingham's day. The score. Victory comprehensive. An indication of the job that had to be done. And a rude awakening followed against the surprise packet of the early weeks of the season, Burnley. (1-1), courtesy of Andrew Johnson. Good firm header. But Burnley had surprised many teams in the early weeks of the season, and they were to inflict a shock on the Birmingham home efficiency machine. Johnson doing well again to tie things up at 2-2. hopes of a point were dashed in the second half. 3-2 Burnley. 2 consecutive defeats. A jolt, but the chance to put it right was to come just days later against Preston, again at Fortress St Andrews. It didn't go according to plan. That was as close as Blues were to come. Jeff Horsfield unable to hit the target. And so, down to 14th, and a match against Luca Vialli's big spending Watford. The perfect start. Brian Hughes again on target. Watford equalised through Tommy Smith. And then they took the lead. It was time for Trevor's men to dig deep. Johnson breaks down the right. Jeff Horsfield, 2-2. Watford back in front through Stephen Glass, but a point secured with a Granger special. 3-3. The run of defeats ended, and September was to end with the first 0-0 of the season against the Railwaymen of Crewe. Tommy going close, but neither side could find the back of the net. There was plenty of endeavour, plenty of near misses, but 0-0 it was to end. And so back to Main Road again. Suffice it to say, this was not one of those memorable occasions. City cut loose, their second victory over the Blues in the course of the season. One to forget. The chance to exercise that nightmare was to come against Barnsley at Oakwell just a few days later. Opportunity taken first by Marcello. Granger going close from free kicks, becoming something of a trademark. Barnsley then equalised. But Blues went on to win it, helped on their way by a Jeff Horsfield rocket that no goalkeeper surely could have got near. Really spectacular effort. It broke Barnsley's heart. And the third goal, which wrapped it up, had an air of inevitability about it after the shots had rained in. At the second attempt, Paul Furlong sealed it. 3-1. First win in 7. The vagaries of the fixture list meant it was a 5th consecutive away game that took the Blues to Nottingham Forest. It finished 0-0. This free kick from Mr. Granger, one of the closest efforts. And so back to St Andrews. Bradford City. Eventually, the ball over the line, played in by Jeremy Gill. Goalkeeper fumbled. The first goal that was to set up the kind of confidence-boosting performance for players and supporters alike. There was a lovely flowing rhythm about this Birmingham performance. Stan Lazaridis joining in the fun, and in the second half there was more. Granger's cross, and Marcelo on the end of it. (4-0). And then came the visitors from Kent, Gillingham. Home form was becoming crucial, and Jeff Horsfield gave the home side the lead. Into the second half, Horsfield again. Looked to have killed off the Gills. There were a few scares after they got one back, but it turned out to be no more than consolation. Birmingham up to 5th. October was to end with 2 away days. The first a Friday night at Grimsby. Jevons in on the goal-scoring act. One back from Marcelo. But Birmingham was sunk by the Mariners by 3-1. Here's another look at the one moment of pleasure, and here's a look at a moment of displeasure. Boulding settles it at 3-1. And so to Fratton Park, the feature of the season. Some wonderful goals, none better surely than that extraordinary strike by Marcelo to give Birmingham the lead. Defender a yard off him. Fantastic strike. It wasn't enough though for 3 points, but the one pushed the Blues up to 6th in the table. Next, home against Rotherham, and Lee shocks St Andrews. The Rotherham goalkeeper makes life difficult. But in the end, it's an own goal that beats him. Michael Johnson was close to getting the last touch. Into the second half, and Jeff Horsfield makes it 2-1. Great close control by a big fella. Good finish as well. But Rotherham snatch a point. And so to the big local derby against West Bromwich Albion. And the Baggies win it by 1-0. To Sheffield United. Games were coming thick and fast. And things were not going well. Yes, there were some wonderful strikes. But a 4-0 defeat didn't leave too many positives. It left Birmingham in 12th place. The upward climb began against Coventry City. This was the Marcelo show. Number 1 with his head. Stooping well past the despairing goalkeeper. Great defending as well to deny Lee Hughes. Look at that block. And Marcelo made Coventry pay for it. Horsfield's cross. In comes the powerhouse header. Headman, no chance. So to the Priestfield Stadium on a Friday night at the end of November. Once again, they were going to have to do it the hard way. Marcelo, the man that delivered. Thanks, in no small way, to an eagle-eyed linesman. 2 home games were to follow to start December. The first against Norwich City. Enter Tommy Mooney. Played back into him by Nicky Eden. The header inside the post. The second, another one of those magical moments. A spectacular strike. Case of double your money, or in this case, double your Mooney. Two-nil at half-time, and into the second half. Marcelo's rich vein of form continues. He makes it 3. An excellent finish. And for the foul, Mooney steps forward to complete his first hat-trick in a Birmingham shirt. One for the trophy cabinet, a 4-0 win. Three days later, against Crystal Palace, and 1 goal is enough. There were chances. Stan Lazaridis very much involved. Lazaridis down. Referee says penalty. Mr. Mooney does the necessary. And nearly doubles it before the end. 6 points then from the 2 home games. The run up to Christmas starts against Wolves at Molineux. And Blake is first to respond. The equaliser from Marcelo. Wolves also in the thick of the promotion race. Both sides really went for it, but the points stayed at Molineux. 2-1 the score. Next, another West Midlands derby against Walsall. Pushing leads to penalty. This time, the Walsall keeper Walker saves. But at the second attempt, it's Darren Pearce who gets the goal. Then it all gets a little bit out of hand. Walsall, a man down and a goal down. 3 points to Birmingham. Next stop, Boxing Day at Sheffield Wednesday. And 1 is enough, courtesy of Jeff Horsfield. Stockport were cast adrift at the foot of the table, and hopes were high the year could end with a resounding victory. Those hopes were to be realised. One 0 at half-time, and in the second half, a private duel is won by Marcelo. It's 2. Could have been more. John McCarthy going close. And in the end, the last goal of the year from Tommy Mooney wraps it at 3-0. Three straight wins to end 2001. The task to try and make it 4 on New Year's Day against Nottingham Forest. And Mooney's right-footed effort, the man who got the last goal of the old year, gets the first goal of the new. It had been 0-0 when the teams had met early in the season at the City Ground. But again, honours were to be even. Forest created more, and in the end, on a difficult surface, they levelled it at 1-1. So close for Tommy Mooney, but not quite close enough. The Forest keeper had one of those days. Could Birmingham have one of those days against Liverpool? Michael Owen opens the scoring. It was a wonderful day in a brief sortie with the FA Cup. When Owen is in that sort of form, no defence can cope. 2-0 at half-time. Merci, monsieur. Nicola Anelka, 3-0. A Thursday night at Millwall. Mooney's rocket. At the second attempt, puts Birmingham into the lead. Worth another look. It rebounds. He has to hit it first time. And how? But Sean Dyche equalises for Millwall. So to the reverse of the day one fixture against Wimbledon. That 3-1 defeat hurt. And when Birmingham were awarded a penalty, it presented a golden opportunity for Tommy Mooney. Opportunity wasted. Birmingham were up to 6th place, a playoff place. But a man named Hughes had other ideas. Wimbledon took control. 2-0 the score. Patrick Agyemang rubs salt into the wound. And so, across the Midlands to the Hawthorns. No revenge for the St Andrews defeat. Once again, West Brom, for all Birmingham's pressure, had the answers. More than once, the Birmingham defence was stretched in what was quite an open local derby. But West Brom's one goal was enough. And one was enough as well to settle the match against Barnsley that followed at St Andrews. Blues had to do their share of defending. But in the second half, Mooney teaming up well. Off the post. It looked as though it would never come. But finally, it was Stern John. First goal for the club, who got the match winner. Barnsley continued to press. Found Ian Bennett in his defence in inspired form. And with another home game to come against Watford, things were looking promising. They looked even more promising as Darren Pearce opened the scoring for Birmingham. Then against his old club, Tommy Mooney teamed up with Stan Lazaridis to make it 2. Into the second half, Carter goes down. Penalty, says the referee. 3-0. Birmingham surely out of sight. But the celebrations turned to nail-biting. Watford scored 2 late goals and threatened one of the most unlikely comebacks of all. But 3-2 it finished. The manager to reflect afterwards on a touch of relief.
Well, Steve, having dominated the game and been 3-0 up, I suppose the puzzling thing for neutrals was how you stopped playing in the last half hour.
Well, we did. I mean, we've let them in with 2 sloppy bits of defensive play from us. You know, the first goal is obviously it's gone over the goalkeeper's head, and then we've given them an ONG. So instead of being really, really comfortable like we were for most of the game, we've ended up a little bit edgy towards the end. But the last 15-20 minutes was disappointing. But I must look overall and think, well, there could have been 6 or 7 before they've scored. So I'm very, very pleased with a lot of the stuff, but a tinge with a little bit of disappointment the way we finished the game.
But you started off at a tremendous pace and you got yourself 3-0 up, and you could, as you say, could have been 4 or 5, and you'd pretty much dominated the game up to that point.
Yeah, we dominated the game, and I couldn't see them causing us a problem. They hadn't caused us a problem all afternoon. They get a free kick on the right, which we've given away a silly free kick, and the sailed one in, it's gone straight in the back of the net. All of a sudden, then we've come a little bit edgy, scored a horrific own goal, and we've gone sloppy and turned off, and nearly got punished for it.
But the key thing is you keep pace with the sort of tailcoats of the promotion group, the playoff group rather, so you're still very much fighting.
We're in there fighting. We'll give ourselves a fighting chance. If we play like we did for the first hour, we've got a hell of a chance. But there's 2 sides to us. Once we've done the hard part, we've gone sloppy and nearly got punished, so we'll have to improve on that. But overall, I'm delighted with the result.
And a great day for Tommy Mooney, despite that miss late on, 2 goals against his old club.
Well, it'd be nice to get the 3rd one, but I think we've had 3, 4, 5 chances after that to go and wrap it really right up. But I'm pleased for Tommy. He's worked extremely hard and got another couple of goals, which will obviously please him after being at Watford for some 7 years.
And it was Mooney who was in the headlines again the following Tuesday. That defeat by Burnley at St Andrews had hurt. This was the chance to put the record straight. Conditions were difficult. Stern John involved in this move, and Mooney completes it. The only goal at Turf Moor. 3 points for Steve's men. Up to 9th place in the table as March approached. In the end, the flag denied them a second, but what mattered was the victory. Even though in the end, it was just by a single goal. March started as February ended in Lancashire. This time Preston North End. Another side very much in the playoff hunt, and profiting from one of those unfortunate defensive moments, which turned out to be worth 3 points. So to the big game against Manchester City, and Michael Johnson gets the header to put the Blues in front. If it was going to be automatic promotion, this looked a must-win game. City, en route to the title, had other ideas. Jensen equalises, and in the second half, City win it. Another home game, another side also in the thick of the promotion race, in the shape of Wolverhampton Wanderers. They'd won the match at Molineux. They took the lead here. And when they doubled that lead through Joly and Lescott, it looked like being a desperate week. But one thing that the supporters had come to learn about this Birmingham side, the pride and the passion was there for all to see. Stern John, first to respond. Oaks no chance. 2-1. Was there time for Birmingham to get it back? The answer, an emphatic yes. Good skills as well. Paul Devlin, 2-2. First time. Great angle. Keeper and defender no chance. A finish worthy of some reward. Late chances came to nothing. 2 away games followed. These were on the list marked awkward. But Darren Pearce drew first blood at Bradford. Conditions were desperate. It was all about winning matches though. And Stern John doubled the lead. Back came Bradford through a crowd of players to make it 2-1. But Birmingham wrapped it up with that from Jeff Horsfield. 7th place at the end of a 3-1 win. And so to Carrow Road, Norwich. They wanted revenge for their 4-0 defeat at St Andrews. This was tight. 1 goal was to prove to be enough. And it saw the repayment of another chunk of that Stern John transfer fee. Finished inside the post. Mooney the decoy. John the finisher. But even then, the drama wasn't over. Libra goes down, referee says penalty. Vasson does the rest. And so to Coventry, the 3rd consecutive away game. First blood to the Sky Blues. But it wasn't to be decisive. Jeff Horsfield made sure of that. 1-1 the score. Games were running out. Birmingham still in 7th place. They badly wanted to beat Grimsby. That horrible Friday night at Blundell Park hurt. Brian Hughes got the show on the road. Birmingham ahead. And the goals this time were all in the Mariners' net. Hughes again. Two at half-time. This time with a header. Stern John makes it 3. Man originally from the Columbus Crew in the United States and then signed by Nottingham Forest before moving to St Andrews. And the 4th goal that settled the issue from Damien Johnson. Away against Crystal Palace. Easter Monday. Close, but not close enough for either side in a goalless draw. Birmingham ended in 6th place, knowing that their playoff hopes were very much in their own hands. It was theirs for the taking, as neither side could find a way through. 3 of the last 4 games were at St Andrews. In the first of them, Stern John opened the scoring. Timed his run perfectly. His finish brave and positive. But Pompey, who'd had a season to forget, defended stubbornly. The second goal never came. And at the other end, one moment, enough to give them a point. Next, Crew Alexandra. Always playing good football, but in desperate relegation trouble. Victory was really essential to keep the momentum going. After Stern John's opener, Jeff Horsfield goes down, but Darren Carter finds the net. He made it 2, and in the second half, Brian Hughes' forward run. Tommy Mooney's looping header makes absolutely certain. Birmingham up to 4th place. 28,615 watched it. Crew got a late consolation. It was time for the manager and others to do the maths.
And just looking forward to the final 2 games. Have you set yourself a target of what you want from those 2
No,
games?
I've got no target or anything like that at all. We've got a chance. If somebody had said to me on Christmas when I walked through the door when we were 12th, that we'd be in 4th place with 2 games to go, I wouldn't have believed it. So we've got a right good chance, but we've done nothing yet. We've absolutely done nothing. We're in there, we're shouting, we've got to shout, and we'll go again Saturday.
And Saturday was at Millmore against Rotherham United. Rotherham took the lead as Birmingham's defence looked at each other, but Granger had something special up his sleeve to square it. Another free kick, top draw, top corner. But anything Granger can do. One slip could be crucial in the final games. Mooney's cross. Defender and goalkeeper agree to disagree. The goalkeeper picks the ball out of the net, and it's 2-2. Fifth place, the final match at home to Sheffield United, and the chance to avenge that 4-0 thrashing at Bramall Lane. An opportunity they took gleefully. Jeff Horsfield with the first. Played onside by the United defender out of your picture. He slipped it in. And then there was time for Granger. A playoff place was Birmingham's. The season was into extra time. Fifth place overall. The appointment, a two-legged semi-final against the Lions of Millwall. Despite some late and unwanted drama for Darren Pearce. And so, Millwall at St Andrews.
Damien Johnson to take it. Pearce and John in there. Posse of blue. Tight together round about the penalty spot. They'll all peel away though. Warner again. Couldn't quite trust the wind. Reed is the favourite at the moment. They want to make sure the wall doesn't break. Reed with the shots! Vasson beats it away. It was straight at him, but even so it was travelling. Reed is struggling and he probably wished he put it out for a throw-in. Kenner with the corner. Mooney and Marks! And he went for the looping header towards the back post. Jeff Kenner. And it's broken for Hughes. Good nick away, but only as far as Carter. Try and use the blustery wind as well, but it's a poor delivery. Horsfield on hand. Granger, what's his right foot like? Carter. Tebley looking for an option. And finding Johnson. Plenty in the centre for him. Pearce wins the header. And Stern-John with no power in it. Dying embers of this first half. Kenner goes for goal.
Well done, Jeff Kenner. I thought it was a great attempt, and I thought he was right to take on the responsibility of having a putt because it was very static in front of him, the movement was poor, and he had to have a go at it.
Well, when Jeff Kenner starts shooting for goal, you know that the forwards have been starved of opportunities. Reed had a free kick that was well saved by Vasson, but Steve Bruce, you feel, has got more work to do at half-time. They need a lead to take down to the Den. At the moment, they don't have it. It's tense, it's taut, it's goalless. Birmingham 0. Millwall 0. And it's Cahill and Marks! Oh, miscuing horribly. Best chance of the afternoon. It's Nethercott is there. Reed with the delivery. I feel! And it took the fingertips, I think, of Vasson, who'd misjudged it initially. Kenner. Johnson nicks it in. Stern-John tries to turn. And this is Carter. Granger. No offside! Go! Brian Hughes! First goal for Birmingham, and it's come against the run of play at the start of the second half. No emotion from the new manager.
I just think this is a fantastic finish. And it's the ball from Granger. I mean, Hughes is in there now, and he makes his little run after just laying it back. Carter passes on, you think Granger's going to shoot. It's a very clever little ball, far post. And after Hughes had just laid it off, he picked himself up, made his little dart to the far post, got in this position. But how well does he control that? He's stretching a little bit. It's perfect. Side netting, inside the post. It's a great little finish. And the place has gone absolutely mad.
Well, the supporters maybe lifted the team, and Hughes, who banged in 2 goals against Millwall in their opening home game of the season, has got a goal worth 2 goals.
Surely Granger's going to hit this himself.
He was a little closer to goal last week against Sheffield United, but he's going to strike for goal again, and is just wide. And Stern John, a relatively quiet match by his impressive recent standards. And Horsfield's away here. 2 on the edge of the area. Mooney arriving. They appeal for a penalty. They don't get it. Mooney thought that he was brought down. Granger with the corner. Flat. Mooney misses. Johnson. Sweet connection. Including Reed. Cahill in the centre. Dublin! 1-1! It's the Aston Villa man who scores at St Andrews! And Millwall have got an equaliser 10 minutes from time. Damien Johnson. Damien Johnson again. Shelling peas for the goalkeeper.
Steve Bruce will probably say afterwards that, you know, we really didn't get going at all today. I mean, all is certainly not lost, but they never played the type of football he was certainly hung. I think Millwall have been terrific this afternoon. I really think they've looked in well. Their togetherness has been superb, and they'll be absolutely delighted with what they've just gained here at St Andrews.
It ends all square. It's another disappointing 90 minutes in the playoffs for Birmingham at St Andrews, but it's not all over yet.
And so does South London. It's worked it well, Stern John. Twist and turn again. Terry Mooney. Very nervous atmosphere around the place. This is Brian Hughes. Chased right the way across. Horsfield came in. Very fast and furious it's been throughout. And this time, drilled straight at Nico Vassen by Dion Dublin. And he blocked well. He's asking a few questions. Looking across, but the referee unimpressed. Puts the ball in. Granger's corner then for Birmingham City. And the wall did its job the first time. It may have more work to do. And this time the flag. Plays and corners have been really very difficult to defend. And Vassen didn't get, and this time it's just over the top. Millwall going so close, Tim Cahill. 1 goal, remember. Will settle it. Pushed it forward again. On Vassen! And Dublin cannot believe it. And this time he's away, Stern John. Stern John with a real opportunity. Dear, oh dear. Will that be crucial, I wonder? And we'll work to an opening now. Well, I thought Birmingham knew they had to attack. They knew they really needed something here. Mooney and Horsfield. Mooney is replaced by Stan Lazaridis. And the robbery by Steve Claridge. Went for glory himself. Oh, Warhorse. John again. Still going, the goalkeeper's come an awful long way out. And in the end, the goalkeeper is saved, Tony Warner. Horsfield chasing. Darren Ward across. Livermore joins. Warner makes the save. Claridge made room for himself. Tim Cahill arriving just too late. And Nico Vasson more than a trifle relieved. Horsfield. Again, the forward passing movement important. This is Stern John. Still John. Warner looks at his back line. They gave John half a chance. But he missed the target. Granger back in. Right the way across. And this time it is in by Stern John. Unbelievable scenes. And Stern John has surely taken Birmingham to Cardiff. The fans celebrate. So do the players, and Millwall cannot believe it. Stern John's goal surely has won it. Look at how much space he had to pick his spot with the goalkeeper going walkabout. That goal may well have repaid the entire transfer fee in one go. Birmingham City go to the playoff finals, and Millwall will play First Division football next season. Stern John's goal has settled it. Steve Bruce elated. And this amazing story has one more chapter to be written. Millwall 0, Birmingham 1.